The tragic story of Samson and Delilah is a tale of love, betrayal, and redemption that spans several chapters in the book of Judges. It is a complex narrative that reveals the flaws and vulnerabilities of humanity while showcasing the transformative power of God's grace. Join us as we delve deeper into this gripping account and explore the intricacies of the lives of Samson and Delilah. Samson, from birth, was set apart for a special purpose. His mother, who had been barren, received a visitation from an angel who prophesied her conception and the birth of a son who would deliver Israel from the Philistines. Samson was to be a Nazirite, consecrated to God and endowed with extraordinary strength. As Samson grew, his physical prowess became evident, and the Spirit of the Lord rested upon him. Despite his calling, Samson struggled with his desires. He was drawn to the allure of Philistine women, and it was in this context that he encountered Delilah. Delilah, a woman of striking beauty, became the object of Samson's affections. However, unbeknownst to Samson, the lords of the Philistines approached Delilah with a sinister plan. They promised her great wealth if she could uncover the secret of Samson's strength. Delilah, enticed by the prospect of riches, embarked on a mission to discover the source of Samson's power. She beseeched him, day after day, to reveal his secret. Samson, initially playful and elusive, teased her with false answers. However, Delilah's persistent pleas wore him down. Eventually, Samson confided in her, revealing that his strength resided in his uncut hair, which symbolized his devotion to God as a Nazirite. Seizing the opportunity, Delilah took advantage of Samson's trust and lulled him to sleep. As he slumbered, she summoned a Philistine barber who shaved off his hair. When Samson awoke, he found himself weakened and vulnerable. The Philistines, seizing their chance, overpowered him, gouged out his eyes, and took him captive. Now a prisoner, Samson was subjected to humiliation and mockery. His eyesight lost, he was forced to grind grain in the prison mill, reduced to the status of a mere slave. It seemed that Samson's calling and strength had been irreparably shattered. In the meantime, the Philistines gathered to celebrate their triumph over the once mighty Samson. They held a great feast in honor of their god, Dagon, and decided to present Samson as a spectacle of humiliation. Bound and blinded, Samson was brought into the temple to entertain the crowd. Unbeknownst to them, his hair had begun to grow back, signifying a renewal of his connection to God. In this moment of vulnerability and desperation, Samson turned to God in prayer. He pleaded for strength one final time, asking God to empower him to avenge himself upon the Philistines. With a surge of divine energy, Samson pushed against the pillars supporting the temple, causing it to collapse. The entire structure came crashing down, burying Samson along with thousands of his enemies. In his death, Samson exacted a final act of retribution upon the Philistines and fulfilled his purpose as a deliverer of Israel. The story of Samson and Delilah carries significant lessons for us today. It reminds us of the consequences of compromise and the dangers of succumbing to our own desires. Samson's downfall serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to guard our hearts and remain steadfast in our commitment to God's calling. Delilah's role in the story serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of manipulation and betrayal. Her actions demonstrate the devastating consequences of using one's influence to exploit and harm others. Delilah's relentless pursuit of personal gain at the expense of Samson's well-being and purpose showcases the depths to which one can sink when driven by greed and self-interest. Furthermore, the story of Samson and Delilah highlights the importance of remaining faithful to our commitments to God. Samson's strength was derived from his adherence to the Nazirite vow, which included not cutting his hair. However, when he revealed the secret of his strength to Delilah, he compromised his dedication to God and suffered the loss of his divine empowerment. It serves as a powerful reminder of the significance of upholding our spiritual commitments and staying true to the calling God has placed upon our lives. Despite the tragic events that unfold in this story, there is also a glimmer of hope and redemption. In his final moments, Samson turns to God in humility and repentance. He recognizes his own weaknesses and acknowledges his need for divine intervention. Through his act of prayer and surrender, Samson finds the strength to fulfill his purpose and bring about the downfall of the Philistines. His death becomes a pivotal moment in the ongoing struggle of the Israelites against their oppressors. The story of Samson and Delilah invites us to reflect on the complexities of human nature and the power of redemption. It reminds us that even those blessed with great strength and potential can succumb to their own weaknesses and make detrimental choices. However, it also demonstrates that no matter how far we may have strayed, there is always an opportunity for redemption and restoration through God's grace. This story also serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of seeking fulfillment in worldly desires. Samson's infatuation with Delilah led him down a path of compromise and betrayal, ultimately resulting in his downfall. It serves as a reminder that true fulfillment and purpose can only be found in a genuine relationship with God and the pursuit of His will for our lives. In conclusion, the tragic story of Samson and Delilah is a powerful account of love, betrayal, and redemption. It teaches us valuable lessons about the consequences of compromise, the destructive power of manipulation, and the importance of remaining faithful to our commitments to God. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, there is always hope for redemption and restoration through God's grace. May we learn from Samson's story and strive to live with integrity, guarding our hearts against temptation and seeking God's guidance in all aspects of our lives. This is the end of this episode. Subscribe for more content.